Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, family and friends. I'm just going to jump right into it. No real preamble. I for the longest time, I've been thinking to myself, what exactly, and the question's been asked, MAGA, 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 what is the time period where America would be great again? When was that? When was that time period? Now, of course, we can all say various things, but ultimately, what I've come to the conclusion is it's ambiguous because in every MAGA person's mind, it's different. And I think ultimately, what they all want, MAGA in general, what all MAGA people want, is a time where it was okay to not be politically correct. I think that's the easiest way to say it. When it was okay to say boy and the N-word and any other racial slurs, or where they could talk freely about being bigoted or prejudiced or racist, and that was the norm. That's really, ultimately. Now, do they care about going back to slavery? I won't say that. But I'm pretty sure that all the things you think about, all the things they complain about, being woke or using all that stuff that we would consider being politically correct, they don't like that. They don't want to have to be politically correct to be normalized in society. They don't like feeling ostracized for being the way they are because the world is changing, or at least trying to change. Okay? Now, that brings me to my second topic, which here in Texas, unfortunately, I didn't think it would happen here like they're trying to do in Oklahoma, but Senate Bill, that's what SB stands for, Senate Bill 10, is they are wanting to make it a requirement for elementary schools and middle schools to display the 10 Commandments. Like, oh boy, here we go again. So the representative, the person that was sponsoring this bill, was before the Texas, House and Senate, and they were answering questions about the bill. And one of the questions was asked, do you think that this legislature, that the congressmen and senators, in Texas or in government, that they should be following the 10 Commandments? For example, thou shalt not lie. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Now, we don't have to read between the lines too far to figure out, some veiled references to that, right? So the real gotcha moments came when one of the legislators asked the sponsor of the bill, do you know what the fourth commandment is? Can you tell us what the fourth commandment is? And they were like, They didn't know. They want this to be posted in schools, and they don't even know all 10 commandments. You can't memorize 10 commandments that you say your faith depends on, and you can't recite the 10 commandments. The fourth commandment, by the way, is thou shalt not work on the Sabbath, which ironically, they were in session on a Saturday, which I believe is the Jewish Sabbath, and they were voting on the bill the next day, which would have been Sunday, which is the Christian Sabbath, unless I'm wrong about that. And he pointed that out to her. You don't think that that's, he said, you don't think that that's a contradiction that we're working on the Sabbath, even though that's the fourth commandment that you want taught in schools? You can't make this stuff up. Can't make this stuff up. So the hypocrisy knows no bounds, and I really don't believe that MAGA folks they can say they're Christian, just like I can say that I'm, I can say that I'm from Scotland, but I'm not. Okay, I don't really think that they are. I don't think that they are really Christian. I really think that they subvert subvert Christianity or try to weaponize Christianity, because they know a lot of people do try to follow those tenets and try to follow those teachings. But I don't really think that they care about the word so much as they try to use the word for their own means. I guess that's the best way to say it. And I don't think it's right. And that's something that aggravates me about MAGA. I mean, I consider myself Christian. Do I go to church all the time? No. Am I super religious? No. But I know right from wrong. I know that's what I was taught. I know, what would Jesus do? I know that there are certain things that you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to behave. You don't have to be a priest to know right from wrong. And that's one of the reasons why I really don't like MAGA, is because I think that they subvert and they are perverse in their interpretation of Christianity to try to suit their goals or their means or their narrative, however you want to say it. Anyway, that's my video, and you guys have a happy Friday.